Welcome back to the Bell Ringers podcast with yours truly, Ryan McDonald.
And I'm Ty Press.
As always, please subscribe to our YouTube at youtube.com/TheBellRingersPod and follow us on all our social medias at BellRingersPod on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter.
Yeah, so that was a rough week for your boy. I did not do good. Off the rip with the Chargers, I went 0-3 this week. If you're keeping track, I'm sure you were. Yeah, so Chargers got absolutely demolished. I thought it was the lock of the week. I was pretty confident about it. I took it first pick of the entire draft, which I think was probably the most taken pick of the weekend. Like, I think everybody was on the side of the Chargers minus 1.5 here. Or 2.5, I think it was that I got it at. But
yeah, I mean, I think that was kind of the consensus pick, but the Texans came out to play. They showed more of their original, showed more like themselves they were last year.
The defense, really, for the most part. Like, the defense was slacking a lot near the end of the season, and they just absolutely embarrassed the Chargers.
Yeah, I mean, Justin Herbert with 4 interceptions just could not go anywhere with the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And even they didn't really get any run support either. I think they had 50 total rushing yards. So there's really nothing they could do on offense.
So there's your first miss for your boy. The next miss I had was also on Saturday, which was the Ravens-Steelers over. The Ravens did cover Ryan's
9.5
spread, which
was my first win of the weekend.
Yeah.
Of many.
At the end of that game, Ryan was looking at a 1-0 slate, and I was already 0-2 because the total I got, I think, was 43.5, and they ended with 42.
Yeah, it was a close one.
So it was close. Both, like, again, arguable, not bad picks, but they just didn't happen. I guess go to your next pick before we hit our matchup.
Well, I guess going into Sunday, my next pick was obviously Philadelphia Eagles minus, I want to say it was 4.5.
Yeah.
That was not even close. Eagles win 22-10 against the Green Bay Packers in Philly. Jordan Love threw 3 interceptions, and I've seen some people, dogging on Jalen Hurts. He didn't play well enough. But, we got the win. So, would you have rather had him have 270 passing yards, 2 touchdowns? Oh, wait, that was Russell Wilson in a loss. That sucks. Would you rather him have had 185 and 2 touchdowns? Oh, that's Baker Mayfield also in a loss. So the teams, the quarterbacks that maybe had decent days this week, they lost.
Yeah.
So
who didn't turn the ball over? Jalen Hurts.
Well, those guys also didn't either, but they just lost.
They lost the game, though, Ryan.
Yeah.
They also lost the game. Listen, Jalen Hurts, yes, obviously you go 6 for 6. You think, all right, this is going to be a good day for the boy. And then I think didn't have a single reception for the next 2 quarters. I don't think he had a single completion in the second or third quarter.
That seems like a stretch, but that might be true.
I'm pretty sure it's true, and it's a little unfortunate. But our team is so built of playmakers. You have Jahan Dotson getting the first touchdown, which first touchdown I think of the year for us.
Yep.
And then Dallas Goedert was probably one of the most disgusting 3 stiff arms in a single play to a touchdown. Player. In the same play to a touchdown to a single player. Yeah, that's a good point. To the same player. Just absolutely embarrassing the kid. But I
think a lot of it though was Jalen Hurts just had no one to throw to. I mean, he has good players, good playmakers, but none of them got open. Even on the Jahan Dotson touchdown, he sat back there for 7 seconds. If it takes your wide receiver 7 seconds to get open, that's probably not a good thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much of that. I got to imagine it's more play calling than anything because our wide receivers are good enough to get open.
Mm-hmm.
The Packers have a pretty decent secondary.
Without Zaire Alexander, though. That's a big part.
But they still, I think they still have a Pro Bowl safety.
Yeah.
But it's just I think for some reason Green Bay kind of knew their route tree and kind of knew what to look for and knew how to play them. So I think Kellen Moore needs to kind of go back to the book, put some new things in, and confuse the defenses a little bit more.
They were on top of every single route. Going back and rewatching some of the plays, you're looking at Jalen Hurts just hold on to the ball for what seems like way too long, and then you look at the wide receivers, and there is literally they double cover AJ Brown,
yep.
And everybody else has a guy completely wrapped on him. He's gonna not turn the ball over. He's gonna take the downs rather than turn the ball over,
yep.
Which you really can't be too mad about. It doesn't look good when you're watching the game live because it just looks like Jalen's not throwing the ball, not dishing it out, and just taking sacks. But if he's forcing these balls, and it's if we watch and he throws an interception, and then you're like, why the hell did he throw the ball to that guy? And it's oh well, you were just complaining about him taking a sack 2 seconds ago.
Exactly.
So he's not forcing anything, which sometimes you have playmakers like AJ and Devontae, you can get away with it. So
yeah, sometimes you have to throw that deep ball in a 50-50 route, but sometimes you want to keep it in. But also the one. I forget what quarter it was in, but I think it was going to be a screen pass to Saquon, and he just got blitzed right out the gate, and there was no quick slant route that the wide receivers ran. So no one he was already like getting hit by the time any receiver even thought about looking.
I was gonna say
like,
not a
turning
single
around.
one had their back turned to
So
look at Jalen.
Yeah, so like he can't throw it away when there's no one looking at him for the ball.
Mhm.
So he kind of just has to sit back there and take that. So there was a couple plays like that where I thought were a little questionable decisions. Not on Jalen's
It
part, but
looked
just like
questionable to Jalen, but
I'm just saying questionable in terms of the playmaking. And then I guess we can move into the final game of the Sunday slate. The Commanders.
we didn't have a pick in one of the games.
Yeah, Bills beat the Broncos 31-7 early Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, not much to. I mean, just it was a beatdown. Not really much to say.
It was crazy too because Broncos' first drive go down and score a touchdown, and then they don't score a single point the rest of the game.
Yeah.
Like it looked like we were gonna have a close game, like a possible shootout. But is that on Bo Nix or is it just like it's a rookie quarterback? You can't put too much on him.
He didn't play terribly.
Like,
I mean,
stat wise, he didn't.
144 and a touchdown, which isn't great, but it's also like he doesn't really have. I don't think the Broncos really ran for any yards at all.
No.
So it's not like he had any help in terms of the rushing game.
And the Bills were running all over the Broncos.
Yeah.
Like they're just owning the clock the entire game. So
And I saw someone getting some people getting upset online about Ty Johnson's touchdown, like, oh, like his foot was definitely out, or like before like he got like possession. It's like you guys lost 31-7. That doesn't matter. That touchdown is meaningless.
that was a gorgeous catch too. I think he stayed in, but
Yeah, but even if he doesn't, like that's not
yeah,
the
you still lose the game.
yeah.
Bud. By the spread too, I believe.
Yeah. I mean, Josh Allen had a pretty good game. Basically, the whole Bills offense really had a pretty decent game.
Mm-hmm. James Cook 8. Then I guess we can finally talk about the matchup we're looking
commies.
forward to. Oh, yeah, you're right. We missed it. We had a couple games that we left out.
Sunday night, Commanders take on Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Tampa.
Mm-hmm. That was a great game. That
And
was a fun
still
game to
the
watch.
only wild card team that won this week, or won this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Every other division winner was the one that won. So Jaden Daniels gets, I mean, kind of lucked out with that doink field goal to win the game.
Yeah.
Would have been kind of cool to see overtime, but
Hold on real quick. Before I kick a field goal.
oh yeah, so confused.
I was gonna say I thought you would be on board with me there, but yeah, the Commanders kicker, everyone's
Gonzalez or whatever his name is.
yeah, everyone's kind of dogging on him because
Because he has no hair. He has
Yeah.
like you
but
have
it's
hair
like
to move.
it's an OCD tick, obviously.
It's definitely
But like he was walking out to kick a field goal and kept like going to put his helmet on, then like stopping, like, oh wait, let me fix my hair real quick. No, wait, one more time. One more time, and it was like as he was walking to on the field, he just fixed his hair like 20 times.
Like that's the kind of kicker you can ice because he's gonna have no idea what to
Yeah.
do. He's gonna be out there fixing his hair.
He's gonna have his helmet off once you ice him.
Some kickers you can't really ice and it doesn't really affect him. That kicker's definitely gonna affect him. He's gonna have no idea what to do.
Yeah, I mean 20, 3 seconds left, and hits a walk-off field goal that hits off the post and goes in. Like couldn't have been better scripted, an exciting way to end the game. Jaden Daniels does have a nice drive to end the game. Like he gets him in the field goal range.
Yeah, I mean they had a good game. They had another game where they had no turnovers and no punts. They did turn the ball over on downs twice, I think. Good game. I can't imagine they're gonna be able to do this even close to Detroit this week.
No, yeah, obviously they're going from the Buccaneers to Detroit Lions, which is gonna be a big wake-up call. I mean,
Especially when Brian Robinson's good running back, decent running back, but they can't the rest of the teams in the playoffs. They can't run the ball on.
they couldn't run on the Bucs.
Yeah, I know,
Brian
like-
Robinson was getting stuck.
Like the Buccaneers defense isn't good enough where they can really stop the pass that much. Like every other defense is going to be able to stop the run
And
fine and be able to stop the pass.
right, even with I think pretty obvious going to be a loss to Detroit next week. I'm pulling for them because I'd rather play the Commanders than Detroit. I think we can beat both teams, but would it be more exciting as an Eagles fan watching Eagles Commanders? Yes. I think for the rest of
I don't know. I think it'd be more exciting.
division rival in the NFC Championship is exciting.
Yeah, but I don't see them as any good.
Yeah, they beat us with Kenny Pickett. To correct myself
Like,
there before I even keep going.
I would rather because granted, I guess if they beat the Lions, then they beat the Lions. But I don't
want this
I'd
being
rather-
talked about as a cakewalk to the
I'd
Super
rather
Bowl. I
beat the
agree.
best teams.
Yeah, no, that's a very good point. Yeah, if we can beat the Lions going into Super Bowl, it's like, all right, they beat everybody's favorite coming out of the NFC, and they beat their. I mean, it looks like we even have a harder walk through the playoffs because out of all the wild card teams, as the second seed, we had probably on paper looked like one of the best ones. I mean, you can argue Green Bay and Commanders, but the Vikings got
Oh yeah.
absolutely embarrassed.
Told you the Rams might have had something in there. So
Yeah,
that
good
goes my
coach,
last
good
pick.
quarterback really showed out.
Yep.
Yeah, that was
Pick the Rams against his Vikings to get my 3-0 and his 0-3.
Yeah, so
I just there was something weird about Sean McVay not playing any starters in the final week when it could have determined his 3 or 4 seed. And
I think he wanted the Vikings.
I kind of forgot that they played the Vikings earlier in the season and beat them then.
Yeah.
It was a little bit of a questionable call at the end of that game, but I think he just saw something in the Vikings where he knew he probably had a good feeling the Vikings were going to lose to Detroit Week 18, and then you just went to see them again and beat them.
Chestnut checkers, Ryan.
Yeah.
Benching all your players when you have something to play for because you want the lower seed versus the very fraudulent, proven very fraudulent Vikings. Sam Darnold was exactly what he was on all of his previous teams. Just was seeing ghosts down the field.
That he got sacked 9 times. That's not necessarily his fault.
It wasn't, but he didn't look good.
Yeah, no, he didn't. But
it's hard to look good when you
sacked
have
9
sacked
times.
Yeah,
That's absurd.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But like the defense didn't really help him out that much. I mean, it seemed like LA could kind of move the ball at will.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, Matthew Stafford's experience. He's fine with getting a rush here. You can kind of pick up the blitz. This is probably a lot better than most.
I gotta ask though. Is there any concern with the Rams beating the Vikings? We are going to be playing the Rams next week, Sunday, 3:00. And is there any concern with the Rams having the storyline now, like these LA fires being timed to?
No, I don't care.
Metaphorically, put a fire under their ass.
Nope, don't care.
And I mean, they whooped the Vikings. Obviously, the Vikings I think are fraudulent, but I saw this Sean McVay speech afterwards. Like, you have the whole city, like you are the shining light of the city right now. Like, you're giving everybody something to be happy about in this hard time. Like, oh, this is just such a storyline speech.
If that was the case, the Chargers would have won.
Yeah, I know that's a good point too. But
you can't just say
but you can't have both LA.
Especially when like LA probably doesn't really give a shit about the Rams. I'm sorry, but like
you think more LA's Chargers fans than Rams?
I'm just saying they probably don't care about football.
Yeah, that's a bad.
They're probably
fan,
just
it's
going
a bad
all
fan
like
base.
if that's the case, then the Lakers would be the best team in the NBA right now, and LeBron would be fucking 50 points a game.
You can't have it all, right? But I'm just saying the speech he made afterwards. I was listening and like, damn, like if it wasn't for the Eagles, I'd kind of be pulling for these guys. Like it was pretty inspirational. But yeah, no, I mean I think we are a much better team. We handle them very well when we play them. So I'm not saying I'm worried, but we are kind of the heartbreakers when it comes to knocking the Rams out of the playoffs.
Oh, boo-hoo. Yeah. We didn't set the fires.
Good point, right? Go cry about it.
But if you want, I'll set more. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I'll go over there, set some fires.
Make some claims. Yeah, so I went 0-3 with the Vikings getting absolutely demolished. Ryan went 3-0. I need a big comeback this week. Going into this draft, I don't think I had a real 0-4 all season long when doing 4 picks. I got pretty embarrassed this week, and I'm going to eat it. It's fine, but we're moving on to next round.
Divisional round.
And
NFL
I would say this gives you
round.
the first pick overall now,
Yeah, it
right?
makes sense. You want to go through all the games, or you want to just do the picks now?
We can go through all the games first, yeah.
So first up, we have Houston Texans going to Kansas City to play the Chiefs. Chiefs are 8.5-point favorites, and the over/under is 41.5 points.
It's at 4:30 on Saturday.
Yep. I mean, Texans look good, and I mean, I don't know. It's kind of like the Chiefs have been away for a while, but like you kind of got to almost remember that they did not really look that good at all this season.
They didn't
still
cover
found ways
spreads.
to win.
They didn't cover spreads, especially these biggest spreads. But they were the most winning team in the NFL.
But part of me also thinks that Andy Reid, with this much time off and his players getting healthy, that he's going to somehow cover the spread.
Yeah, I also can't get behind Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes not whooping this Houston Texans team. Like, if I don't know if they're gonna make it all the way to the Super Bowl. Chiefs, if I'm being honest, like I say, the winner. I truly think the winner of the Bills Ravens. It's not even that high of a take. I think everyone's kind of on this side right now. But the winner of the Bills Ravens, I think, will be representing the AFC in the Super Bowl. Yeah. But the Kansas City Chiefs against Houston, they don't cover big spreads, but it's the Texans. I said it's the Texans against the Chargers, and they whooped them. But I mean, it's a tough pick. It's 8.5 points, which we really, I don't think hit once for the Chiefs in the regular season.
No,
that kind of spread.
Yeah. Chiefs were tough, but I mean, I do.
It's a different ball game. The Chiefs go crazy in the playoffs every year.
And I think they're getting Isaiah Pacheco. Like he's got to be more healthy now than he was.
Yeah.
I knew he came back at the end of the season, but he was kind of shelved himself. But I think he might kind of be in more shape right now.
2 weeks getting
off.
healthy. Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, I think we can almost wash everything we've seen in the regular season because it's happened so many times where like this isn't gonna be the Chiefs year. Like Travis Kelce has had a really off. At least I'm talking about last year now. Like Travis Kelce had a really rough regular season, and everyone's like, dude, if without Kelce, like, is he falling off? Like, if he's not gonna be the guy that he was, that I don't see them taking it that far. And then as soon as the playoffs start, he turns on. Mahomes goes crazy. Andy Reid's dialing up crazy shit. So it's like, if I would probably be leaning Chiefs here because I don't think we can even look at the regular season as a representation of what this team's going to be doing.
Yeah, it's just you're going to have to worry about, like, them, obviously they don't care about the spread at all. They just want to win the game.
Right.
So do they end up kind of getting up and then just running clock out to make sure that they get the win? But, yeah, you have to deal with that when it comes.
Yeah, but I don't think you start doing that until you at least have a touchdown score. So I probably will be leaning Chiefs here, and this is a game I'd be leaning the under, too.
I mean, I'm probably picking under for all the Chiefs games.
Yeah, 41.5 is the total.
I think they were pretty solid on the under this season.
Yeah, I think so, too. All right, Saturday night, we have Commanders going to Detroit. This is the biggest spread. That was the second biggest spread of the earlier game, but we have Lions minus 9.5 at home. Total, I mean, I think this might be the lowest and the highest totals, too, which we have 55.5 as the total points. We just talked before, so we think the Lions are going to really whoop these Commanders because Commanders' defense isn't great. We said it last week. They've been playing better as the season's gone on, but this Lions offense is absolutely. Is Dave Montgomery back too?
I don't know. I mean, that doesn't really matter to me.
If not this week, next week. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, it helps.
Put fuel into the fire of them crushing this spread. I know he's coming back in the playoffs. I just don't know if it's this week or not. But yeah, so 9.5 for the Lions. I think. And even most of Washington will agree that if the Commanders' season ends with this game, that's still a hell of a season for what you went into the season with a rookie quarterback, not knowing what you're going to get. You winning a playoff game with a rookie quarterback and kind of a new team. That's a A season, A+ season.
Yeah, I mean, even with the Broncos, I mean, they lost last weekend. Pretty bad game, but you still have Bo Nix, rookie quarterback, and Sean Payton, second year with the team. Mm-hmm. That's still a winning season.
And you went against the Bills.
Yeah. You go against probably one of the best teams in the AFC, and I mean you still made it to the playoffs. You won some tough games.
Mm-hmm.
I mean you beat the Chiefs, but that was with no one playing, so it doesn't really count. But you still had a good season. You got to see some stuff out of a rookie quarterback, and there's hope going forward. Same thing with the Commanders,
Absolutely.
no matter what way they come. Yeah, what way they come out of the season. You have teams like the Steelers where they have no idea what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
They have a aging quarterback that they
Asian
quarterback.
There you go, fair.
And then I mean, I guess
the Jets, like your organization, like these are supposed to be your big years, and crumbling now. It's like, dude, like when you had that older quarterback that, like, I don't think Russ is on contract. What are you paying this guy? Like,
Denver's paying him right now.
Oh, that's right. But I mean,
I don't know if they keep paying him after this season though.
I don't know how you can be a Steelers, like Mike Tomlin, and be like, I kind of want this guy to stick around. Like, why not? You don't have a good draft pick either, though. So it's
nope.
Like,
that's what you get when you just stay mediocre every year.
Average team. Oh, we've never been under 500 with Mike Tomlin. Like, you haven't had a good draft pick, and your team hasn't won a playoff game in a good while either. So.
They haven't had a quarterback play well since probably almost like 10 years. Because the last couple of years of Big Ben was a terrible time.
Kenny Two Gloves didn't do too great for you. Yeah, I think we're leaning Lions here, minus 9.5.
Yep, and give me the over because I mean
it's a lot of points, but
that is, but. I mean, there's a chance the Commanders are able to score some points, and they might just be aggressive and kind of do the same thing they did this past week and just not punt the ball.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I agree. Turn it over on downs and giving Lions good field position. I could definitely see us over it. Even though it's 55.5, Lions have covered 60 several times throughout the season, so it's not that far out of reach.
Up next, we have Sunday's first game at 3 o'clock. It's the LA Rams coming to our Philadelphia Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Eagles minus 6 points, over under 44.5. I mean, I just once again not worried. Beat them once again, same as last week. Beat them already this season. We're gonna beat them again.
Yeah, that was in LA too.
Yeah, I would say it's in LA. So
beat them in LA, and yeah, like I say, we last time we made that clip, we had a lot of comments saying like. Classic Birds fan. Like, so I hate to tell you,
crazy take.
Yeah, crazy take. Hate to tell you, but you guys are gonna be done after this round. Like, no, we weren't. We're not worried. We're not worried. It's the Rams. We whooped them in L.A. We can whoop them in the Lincoln Financial Field. Flip the tube.
Yep. Rams. I mean, we beat you 37-20
in L.A.
Yep.
So I'm much more confident. I mean, like I said, you're coming to the link. It's a hard field arena. I don't know if
Stadium.
stadium. That'd be the proper term. Yes. I don't know why I was blanking on that. Hard stadium to play at. Philly crowd's great. Whooping you in LA, and then you're coming in here in the playoffs. Our defense is disgusting. And
We are without Nakobe Dean. He's out for the rest of the playoffs.
Yeah.
That is a bummer. He had a great game going this past week against the Packers before he left with a leg injury.
Mhm.
Hopefully he's back, ready for next season, and because we're going to need him.
Who's the backup? Is it Hunt? Or then it's not Trotter, right?
I mean, he is in there. I don't know who they're going to actually have.
I think it's the guy that got the forced fumble on the kickoff. Number
Oh, I
48.
don't remember who that is.
So I think his last name's Hunt. But obviously, Nakobe Dean is a rough loss. Him and Zach Ballin together were playing incredible. Probably the best linebacker duo we've had in a very long time.
I mean, Nolan Smith's been playing pretty well. I know they have him kind of rush the quarterback sometimes as well.
Oh yeah, he's
but
a D end.
he's actually a linebacker, but
I know, but they label it as an outside linebacker, but he's like a
yeah, no,
how often does he drop into coverage compared to
I know, but I'm just saying.
technical position is outside linebacker. You are right. He had a great game, Nolan Smith, against the Packers. I think he had 2 sacks. Just was all over the quarterback.
Like I said, I mean, I'm pretty confident in our offensive line. I don't think we're gonna have 9 sacks like the Vikings did
No,
against
not at
us.
all.
But I mean, Kellen Moore needs to look at what went wrong against Green Bay and how to fix it. Make sure we get guys wide, get guys open in midfield, and kind of let Jalen throw the ball to him and get him in space. And then just Zaquan just keep running the ball, just keep running it down their throats.
Yeah, I mean, last time we played them, I don't know if it was until the second half, but Saquon in the second half broke off 2 massive touchdowns.
Yeah, I mean Zaquan last week had I think like 120 yards, 116,
Which
and
was
could have had
quiet
could have had he could have had 50 more yards
Yeah,
and a touchdown if he didn't go down at the end of the game.
yeah, he was completely loose, like wide open field too.
like at half field.
AJ Brown, Devontae Smith shitting on him afterwards, like
Yeah.
you gotta keep running. But
Just want to see their boy get in. I understand.
right. Eagles -6. Whoop the Packers. I think we can cover 6 points in the link, and then over under 44.5.
Kind of like the over with the fact that I mean it's tough that we would have hit the over in the first game we played them, but
Right.
kind of like in the under. I
So
feel like
that's what we said about the Packers as well. When
Yeah.
we were playing the Packers, we would have hit the over when we first played them.
Yeah,
but
that's what I'm saying. Under. I'm kind of like in the
Right,
under.
I know. That's what I'm getting at is like that
You cut
logic.
me off there.
Sorry, you're going down a path that I heard before, so I was
that's
just
switching
trying to
up.
cut
Let's
you
switching
off.
up because I feel like we've seen the unders hit in a lot of these playoff games so far. So I'd probably be leaning the under there.
Yeah, it really makes us look shitty with the where we're talking. Like, I feel like there's not many unders I want to take here. Like, all these overs sound good, and then like Commanders, Bucks was like a clear shot over. I didn't make it as a pick here, but I took it on them as all my parlays, and that didn't hit. Just there's a lot of low scoring, close games. Really defensive weekend.
You want to take us in the last game before we do our draft?
Yeah, so the last game, I think the best matchup of this weekend, I think it's unarguable. I said it earlier. I think the winner of this game will be in the Super Bowl. You have Baltimore Ravens at Buffalo Bills. Ravens are away favorites, -1.5, and the total is 51.5. That's kind of crazy to me.
Yeah, I don't really like it, to be honest.
It makes me nervous because, I mean, I can't say I'm nervous because it pissed people off if I said I was rooting for the Bills here. I do, like, as an AFC team that I love before I started dating a Baltimore native, I did love the Bills the most. And in this matchup, I did go to their house for Christmas and put on a hard argument about Josh Allen over Lamar Jackson. It was a really so I was surrounded by most people saying Lamar Jackson, but the MVP race is close. I know they can't make the MVP decision based off of playoff performance, but
Yeah, I think their ballots are already kind of in.
ballots are already in, which Quinyon Mitchell not winning Defensive Rookie of the Year. Boss, that's fucking brutal. But in this matchup, it's giving the Ravens the favorite as an away team is pretty wild.
Don't like that.
No, like I said, I
like the Buffalo Bills.
know, but it's just this game could go either way. I think the spread should be 1.5. I think it should be Buffalo because they're home. Like, I think these two teams are on pretty equal planes, which is, are they getting Zay Flowers back? Question number 1.
I would doubt that. I mean, they ran the ball pretty well last week with Derrick Henry, obviously. So
But so did the Bills with James Cook against the Broncos.
yeah, but
I'm not comparing James Cook to Derrick Henry by any
No,
means.
I was just saying like it's like how much the Ravens really need Zay Flowers when they can just run the ball like that.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. What I was going to get at is like Buffalo has such young wide receivers, but honestly, I think I'd take Buffalo's wide receiver room right now over the Baltimore.
Oh, obviously.
I mean, but like going into this season, you probably wouldn't say that with Zay Flowers being like I think all pro, but without him,
Yeah, but without him,
it's Bateman.
Yeah,
It's Bateman and Aguilar.
Yeah, the Bills also added Amari Cooper midseason, so
That's
that
I
helps.
keep forgetting about Amari Cooper too.
But they have Dalton Kincaid and Dawson Knox. They have 2 good tight ends.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Keon Coleman.
Khalil Shakir.
Yeah,
great season so far.
Mm-hmm.
Great weapon in that
I don't know.
wide receiver room.
That's gonna be such a good game. I'm like, is it at? Oh, that's
6:30.
amazing. That's so nice, dude.
Just because the game ends early.
Now that we can I can actually stay up all night, watch this game, and go to bed at a reasonable hour and get to work on time. That's such love. Good for you, NFL, for giving us 6:30. Oh, I honestly I didn't look at that yet. That made me really, really happy. But in this game, I do think I want to take Buffalo plus 1.5 because they're home.
Well, we'll see what you get. We'll see. We'll see how the.
That's
picks
true.
go.
You're right. Have you given any answers to these, or you just listened to all mine?
I've given this one. I might keep close to my chest, but I've
Okay.
given answers. To the
All
other.
right, fine. I guess with that being said, we can go into our draft. Ryan, pretty resoundingly beat me last week, 3-0 to 0-3.
With my first pick in the divisional round draft, I will be taking the Philadelphia Eagles -6 against the Los Angeles Rams.
Okay. All right.
You get 2 picks here.
I do get 2 picks here.
Use them wisely.
Shoot. Give me Chiefs -8.5 against the Texans. I'm going against the Texans again, which I really hope doesn't screw me over again.
Don't hate that, but I wasn't going to take that one.
All right, that's fine, right? I didn't ask you for your opinion on my picks.
Well, I'm giving it anyway. That's part of the podcast.
And then I'm going to take one that I think you are going to take, and that's take the over of the Lions and Commanders.
You're so stupid. I'm
What?
not taking any of the over-unders. You know me. I can't win on
Right.
those.
You wouldn't take over-unders. All right, well, I'm happy about that pick. Over 55.5 Lions Commanders.
Give me Lions -9.5, and then my final pick will be Buffalo Bills +1.5.
Yeah, I didn't want you to take that one.
The fact you took a spread.
I know you weren't going to take a fucking
Yeah, you
over.
took an over-under.
I could have saved that for my last pick.
Yep.
So I took Chiefs -8.5, over/under Lions.
I got the 3 I picked. It didn't matter what order.
Okay, good for you, Rye.
I'm pretty happy about that.
Um,
Making dog noises. Gonna growl at you.
give me that. Give me that. I think I need it. I think all the spreads are taken, weren't they? Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless I go against you on one, which
I mean, you could.
you know what?
Ravens.
For the homies, for my fans,
After
I'll
you just
take-
said you guys are gonna lose.
I'll take the Ravens -1.5. I don't want to see the Bills lose, but I think that game is a coin toss. I think it's too.
Yeah, it is a close one.
We're gonna lose our battery soon too, so we gotta wrap this up. I see it blinking. Go ahead.
Recapping our divisional round draft for our picks, I am taking the Philadelphia Eagles -6 at home against the Rams, the Detroit Lions -9.5 at home against the Washington Commanders, and the Buffalo Bills +1.5 at home against the Baltimore Ravens.
All right. To recap my picks, I took the Chiefs -8.5 against the Houston Texans. I took the over 55.5 on the Commanders and Lions game, and then I took the Baltimore Ravens -1.5 in Buffalo. All right.
See everyone next week,
Yeah, we'll see you next week. Hope your teams win if you're rooting for the Eagles.
except for if you're a Los Angeles Rams fan.
Besides that, make sure you like, subscribe, comment. Let us hear your takes on our takes. All those Packers fans commenting that they didn't like our Eagles picks. How's it feel? We're not worried about the Rams. We weren't worried about the Packers.
We're winners over here.
Yeah, just a
Well,
bunch of winners.
at least I am.
We're winners over here. I'm gonna bring it back with a 3-0 sweep this week. So
I'm talking my shit while I can.
yeah, I was gonna say you did lose the regular season. All right. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys next week.
Peace.